Hello, my name is Kevin Popanta. I am going to present the summary of units 7 to 12. The infinitive is the basic form of verbs in English. It is usually structured as follows. To plus root of the verb. For example, to talk. We will use the following structure to refer to present simple. It is plus adjective plus to infinitive. For example, it is easy to talk to the teacher, or it is nice to say thank you. We will use the following structure for the negative. It is plus not plus adjective plus to infinitive. For example, it is not easy to walk without shoes. We will use the following structure for the questions. It is plus adjective plus to infinitive. For example, it is nice to walk without shoes. It plus infinitive. It is the subject in the sentences. It is common to use the structure. It plus be verb plus adjective plus infinitive phrase. Or it is difficult to learn Mandarin Chinese. What is advice? What is suggestion? Advice is something you tell someone to do to help. A suggestion is a question you ask to help. If the question is, should I wear this shirt? My advice would be, I think you should use another. Or, I don't think you should wear this shirt. And remember not to use the shouldn't with I think. For example, I don't think you should wear this shirt because the new one is prettier. A comparative can be used to give a reason for your advice. Unit 8. Who is or whose? Who is? It is the contraction of who is or who has. For example, who is going to cinema today? Y el who. And whose? Of whom is a possessive form meaning of whom or belonging to whom. For example, whose books are these? Think, if you can replace it with who is or who has, if you can use whose. If not, you must use whose. Possessives. They are used to indicate that something belongs to or it's part of something. They vary according to the possessors and not according to the quality possessed. Order of adjectives. There are 11 kinds of adjectives in English, and they always go in the same order within a sentence. Number, opinion, size, shape, condition, age, color, partner, origin, material. For example, it is my favorite big old square blue Italian world tour mate. Pronouns. One is a pronoun that is used to replace a countable noun in the singular, thus avoiding its unnecessary repetitions. They separate into the one and ones. Unit 9. The simple past is used to refer to actions that were completed in a period of time before the present. We can use with the verb to be and with the verb. For example, I saw a ghost last Friday. Express a complete action in the past. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. This describing a complete series of actions in the past. Past continuous. The past continuous describes action of events located in the time before the present, whose beginning is in the past and which has not yet concluded at the moment of speaking. We have positive form, negative form, and question form. Difference between past simple and past continuous. The past continuous. The main difference between past simple and past continuous in detail usually. The past simple of verbs in English indicates past actions that have already finished. But when I use past continuous usage, This verb tense I use it to talk about actions that were in the progress and the specific point in the past. For example, in simple past, I went to cinema yesterday, or I always visited my grandparents in my summer holidays. When I was little, I lived near Liverpool of some bit of years. And the past continuous, for example, I was watching TV when the phone rang. Last night at 7 p.m., I was having dinner. While she was doing her homework, her brother was playing football. When and while. When used to indicate a short action to fall in the middle of a longer action. While is used to indicate a longer action that overlap with other long actions. Unit 10. Comparative adjectives. When we talk about two things, where can compare them? We can see if they are the same or different. We can use comparative adjectives to describe the difference. We use comparative adjectives when we talk about two things. In the following example, bigger is the comparative form of the adjective great. Two or more syllables and irregular as good is better and bad is worse. We use than after two comparative forms of the adjective. More, less, fewer. The general rule is we use less or sometimes uncountable and fewer or sometimes countable. So, for example, less meant fewer hamburgers. Do, does, is often used after than, so that the verb does not have to be repeated. For example, she talks more than he does, or he talks less than she does. For example, I talk more than you do. Than you do equal than you talk. Unit 11. Apparent. To describe people, there are many different expressions you can use to ask the answer question about someone's appearance. Look like is a phrase which is often translated as separate and look alike is a phrase that is often translated as similar. For example, what does Hailey look like? She is tall and thin. And for example, Will Smith looks like Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie and Will Smith look alike. Height, hair color, eyes color. You can use whole plus tall plus be to ask about someone's height. For example, how tall is her father? He is over 2 meters tall. Unit 12. Future, will, might, and might. The future with will I use it to make prediction about the future. That is, to talk about an unplanned or uncertain future. The basic difference between might and might is the might I use it to indicate that sometime is likely to be done, while might indicate less probability and certainty. And thank you so much.